Yeah,
Oh, it feels so good to hear that song again. Good morning. Ready up, gamers. It is Monday, September 23rd. Payton and I are back. We are jet lagged, but boy,
yes,
does it
to
feel
a
good
degree.
to be
We're like
home.
texting each other like 3 a.m. What's up, dude?
Feels good to be home, back in the studio, back in the lab, ready to cook.
Yes,
Welcome back for 41st, I can't even speak, episode of Ready Up, our weekly show to catch you up on everything that's happening in Web3 gaming. Why? Because there is never a boring week in crypto gaming.
Never.
We got a lot to talk about, from Token Singapore, Solana Breakpoint. It all went down. I am your host, as always, Iceyyy Gaming, and we are running duos alongside. You've heard of the Wolf of Wall Street. Well, I'm joined by the Wolf of Web3, Payton Kaleiwahea, K9.
What's up?
K9s, as Sam likes to call him, patron of the pooches. That is Wolves DAO, the best alpha pack in Web3 gaming. You see their shirt. We got brand new Wolves DAO merch in the building.
Dude, also, Jay Ryan, I don't know if you're watching, but bro,
show him the jacket. Flex on him. Oh.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I haven't taken it off. I haven't taken it off since Jay Ryan gave it to me. So shout out to Jay Ryan. He made this beautiful jacket for me. And yeah, he's just been somebody that's been with me, I know, for like 2.5 years now in the Wolves DAO. So I'm very thankful for him. And also thank you. Winterfire is also here. Also took me around Singapore, taught me the rail system, or the subway system, was so good. And it was so clutch because F1 shut down everything. We'll talk about that there soon. But dude, it was so good, man.
All of it, man.
The only thing I do miss is waking up next to Iceyyy. I did not spend enough time with him, but we at least had the mornings and nights together, which was always awesome. So
yes, sir. I had breakfast with Payton every single day of the week. It was glorious. I was sad. It was like 6 a.m. You were leaving for the airport. I was like, give me a hug, goodbye. Like,
it was 4 a.m., buddy.
It was 4. Okay,
you didn't know what time it was.
I did.
It was definitely 4 a.m. I was like just super nervous about, like, I don't know, flying international and stuff like that. I was there way before any of like the ticket counter people were. So I was like, whatever.
Dude, it's so funny. My entire life, like, I'm always the person that, like, I'm late to everything. I do everything last minute. So, like, I didn't even, like, know when my flight was leaving.
Yeah.
I'm, like, in the Uber, like, checking into it, trying to, like, figure it all out. I forgot. I'm like, oh, it's an international flight. I probably have to go through immigration. It's going to take longer. I left late, but it's all good. We made it home. Man, a lot happened. We're going to try and do our best to cover everything.
Yeah.
There's some crazy hooks. Dookie Dash returns. Jihoz is coming for everything, throwing shots, sending shots at Solana. Kazan launched last week at a $1 billion FTV. Binance is launching a Telegram game. We're going to talk about that. And Parallel just doing parallel things. You guys can probably hear it in my voice. My voice is still gone.
Iceyyy was everywhere, guys. Every single time that I saw him, I actually saw him more on Twitter than I did see him in real life. He was absolutely freaking crushing the content game. And yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about all that stuff, but also just like things that were happening while we were at, like, you know, the space doesn't slow down even if you're at a conference. And he just was absolutely just banger after banger. I think Dookie Dash is like at the top one for mobile. It's freaking crazy. And by y'all, I want to just shout out some of the freaking legends in the chat, dude. Kearney, GM, buddy, Starboy. Good to see you, man. Hopefully everything's going well with your family and everything like that. Winterfire, Lau, Kay. We heard so much things that for YGG Summit. And it's so crazy. Shady Shiba, love you. Can't wait to talk to you more in Slack. That's some alpha for some people there. Ooh. Mountain Doji is freaking killing out that Witty Kitty fresh from Singapore. And yeah, man, there is just so much love in the chat. And then also our boy Jaxie. We missed you, Jaxie. GM, buddy.
Guys, send Jaxie some love. I don't know if you saw yet, but his house caught fire. So yeah, a lot of material. He's okay. His family's okay. I've talked to Jaxie. Legend for being here. I appreciate you, brother. I already DM'd you. We've already spoken. If there's anything that you guys need from us, you have it.
Please.
But just lost, a lot of material things, and we'll have to go through that whole process, insurance and all that. Look at that Zai banner. We're gonna come back to that. Yes, but shout out to Kearney. I got to meet Kearney finally for the first time in Token Singapore. Always amazing to see Lau. Lau just brings me so much happiness. Winterfire, I did not know how much happiness he could bring me, but boy, was it a mountain. It was a Mount Doji's worth of happiness. Him and Jay Ryan, the hospitality that Singapore showed all of us was just through the roof. And man, it makes me sad to not be there, but it makes me happy to go back next year and see the boys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt DeFi.
Oh, it was so funny. Iceyyy, I have to tell a story. So Iceyyy was talking to me, and he was just like, you know what? Next year, I'm not going to that many conferences. I'm just gonna go to like 2 GDC and like Token. And then I was just like, what about like this one? He's like, okay, that one. Yeah. And then it was like, what about Gamescom? He's like, oh, yeah. I forgot Gamescom. And so like it just filled up his stuff. Next year, man, it's gonna be even crazier.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazier, but it was so cool, man. So cool to hang out with the Wolves. We're gonna talk about all of it, guys. Let's first if you're tuning in, please, give the comments a like,
add some liquidity to that like button, that retweet button, guys. Come on,
to bookmark, give the I don't know, repost.
Yeah, bookmark's the new meta, dude.
I'm all over the place, guys. I'm still on Singapore time, so it's like
he hasn't
9 p.m.
slept
there
since he's come back, guys. Don't worry.
I've not slept, but it really helps out the show grow, and we really appreciate it. And real quick, we got to thank the sponsors that make this show possible.
And a new one there, Iceyyy.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Payton, great job on the banners, man. These look so good.
Thanks, man. I know.
I
was happy about this one for sure.
It just looks so good there. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, OpenSea has something for everyone. Discover, buy, sell, and trade a diverse range of digital assets, from unique art pieces, virtual real estate, to in-game items, and even domain names. OpenSea is the largest and most trusted marketplace. Oliver and Adam are absolute legends. We got to see them and hang out with them quite a bit in Token Singapore. That was amazing. They have I forget what it is. I'm gonna have to like go back and revisit, but their partnership with Gunzilla and Off the Grid.
Yeah, it's
like the first time that they're supporting, I don't know, in-game like purchases or something like that. I gotta revisit it.
Well, they're using Guns token. To be able to purchase something on the OpenSea specific thing, right?
That's
and
what
so
it is.
Guns is just absolutely killing it. And I think like, Oliver, whenever talking to him, he really cares about quality. And the way that he's kind of talking about like Gunzilla, he's super bullish on them, which I think like, everybody that has played it is also super bullish on them. And so I'm super excited about it. I also talked about it in my like review of like a token. I'm really happy and really scared at the same time for Gunzilla to be launched. So
we'll talk about that a little bit. We got some leaks, some exclusives from the Gunzilla OpenSea private event at Token Singapore. You've probably seen my tweet. It's an OpenSea skin on one of the guns, but there's some other things to talk about there. So that was super cool. We also got to thank Honeyland. Honeyland was at Solana Breakpoint. They crushed it. Corey, as always. Look at that. They gave a little fireside chat 10-minute update. Solana Breakpoint was dope, man. We're gonna have to talk about that,
dude. I know. I think I missed out on that one. I definitely out of the thing. I was like, I'm gonna go home because I need to see my family. But maybe one more day would have been worth it for sure.
It was cool, man. It was cool. Corey told me that they have over 1 million players in tons of dungeons now. I actually just checked it this morning. It's 1.5. So if you guys have not downloaded or signed up to tons of dungeons on the Telegram game, what are you waiting for? Go do it. It's super fun. It's super just easy to get into, man.
It's
I
also
really
like a throwback too. It's like Minesweeper and all that stuff too. With also very gotcha mechanics, which they get me. They get me big time. So
tons of dungeons is tons of fun. So go check that game out and download Honeyland if you have it on your iOS. Yeah, look, we were giving out the bees, the bee little pin. That was friggin' awesome. I gave some out to some people. There's Kearney, the legend himself.
Dude, yeah, Kearney's awesome, man.
Look at that stud.
Young talent, but also freaking just a veteran. He's gonna be a veteran in the space for sure. Jesus Martinez and his beautiful fiance as well.
Jen, shout out to Jen.
Jen's awesome. So
yeah, I wish. My only complaint is that I didn't get more of these pins. I actually love these pins. I'm gonna start collecting these pins. I got some Play Ember ones. I got some other ones. So I'm super excited about that. Shout out to everyone that had pins. And guys, you see the banner. We got a brand new sponsor on Ready Up. Iceyyy is the world's first layer 3 solution for AAA gaming, powered by Off-Chain Labs Arbitrum technology, and it's absolutely cooking with new games building on Iceyyy announced every single month. Games like Lost Glitches, My Angry Yakuza Girlfriend, Planet X, and now Riftstorm. Riftstorm was some major news that dropped last week. We're actually going to cover it a little bit later in the news section as well. It's no wonder Iceyyy went 12 weeks as the #1 blockchain for activity. So make sure you follow Iceyyy Games, Iceyyy.games on Twitter. Turn on notifications because they are just getting started. Boy, I got to talk to
shout out.
I got to talk to EJ, the team there. They had a whole setup for Arbyverse. Arbyverse had a massive presence at Token Singapore. And man, that whole ecosystem is just cooking. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to play. I think part of like our specific contract too is also streaming and playing some of these games, man. So keep tuned with me and Icey's account and everything like that. One of the things that we wanted to kind of do and also get our hands into is actually playing and doing all that stuff. And if any of the Ready Up crew wants to come play with us, let me know. I'll definitely set it up in a way that we can all play together. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And they also have some freaking amazing games coming. Like Lost Glitches seems like one that I like now have an excuse to just go in and play for hours on end. And also the new one that's like Play Riftstorm, which is announced at GDC or not GDC, sorry, Token. It was freaking so good. And I've been playing that game on my free time. So now that I get to go in and play and stream and play co-op with you, dude, I freaking can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's going to be fire. We're thrilled to be working with Iceyyy. Super excited for what they're doing, and they've been great partners so far. So we're going to be cooking with them for quite a while. Let's talk about some markets, Payton, markets and culture report. What is going on in the world? If you guys have seen the charts, I saw Brian Tamaguchi. Yeah, I think it's Tamaguchi. That's a great name.
Tamagotchi is the
rolls off the tongue, man. Shout out to the gamified eggs. No spoilers. I'm sure you guys have already seen him though. He tweeted, he's like, oh, I didn't check the charts the entire time. I checked the charts, and boy, are we up. So
we are up, dude.
The Fed rate cuts came in last week with a 50 basis point cut, the first rate cut in over 4 years, which created bullish sentiment for securities and crypto. The S&P hitting all-time highs. Bitcoin is up 8% on the week, sitting at 63,400, 300, right about there. Ethereum up double digits, 14% on the week, $2,643. You love to see it. Solana up 8.5% at $142. AVAX up 15% at $27. Ronin up 15%, $1.67. IMX up a whopping 44%.
Yes, sir. 44%. Crazy.
$1.81. I sold the bottom there, guys. So there's pain. Iceyyy is up 18% week over week at 21 cents. Still, hey, not financial advice, but support the sponsors. Buy the tokens.
Buy the tokens. Let's go.
Gaming tokens are looking amazing. The biggest gainers on my watch list, Shrapnel, showing signs of life, up 84% on the week.
I think there's gonna be some news coming out from Shrapnel here soon, so we'll see how it goes.
Excited for that. 84% on the week. Boy, you love to see it. Corpo World, another one on my watch list, was up 63%. Carrot up 55%. Shout out to the My Pet Hooligan ecosystem. I keep listening to Hustle Peter talk about AI and gaming, and Carrot just being like the ultimate AI gaming token outside of Prime, probably. So up 55% there. Jeez.
But like we have to kind of also zoom out here too. Like we are still very low comparatively to where we were at with a lot of these. Yeah, we're going up like I guess Shrapnel is kind of back at some of the all-time highs in terms of their token, but like Echelon Prime is at $9. Right? It's 8.9% in terms of the 7-day. But Ronin also at 15% up. And they've given it steadily climbed up in these last few weeks. But anyways, just also want to kind of zoom out. I know we're up this week, but also look at where we were and just be careful out there, obviously. So
for sure.
And also, Jaxie, I just put this in the YouTube chat. But if you have a public wallet or anything like that, let us know. We want to put it up on screen and make sure you're being supported as best as you can. I'll send some funds too, man.
Yeah. There's only a few tokens in the red. We'll just round out that report. Farokh down 16%, Engines of Fury down 13%, Metalcore down 12%. Not too bad on the week. Showing some signs of life. I don't know. Maybe we're heading into October, guys.
October. A little early, but we good. We Gucci.
Yeah. On the culture side of things, we'll just hit on some quick headlines. Donald Trump, apparently, do you guys see the clip of him buying Bitcoin?
Yeah. I'll put it up here.
Bought some food at a bar using Bitcoin. You know what? I saw John, the crypto gaming hater. He had like tweeted out being like, it only took him 43 seconds to like give up and like have someone else do it for him. typical crypto hater John, but shout out to him.
Okay.
Thread guy interviewed Donald Trump at the private dinner last night, getting a question in.
Yeah, he got a question in
for all the people following the poly market, betting market. That cooked. I think it was at like 25% chance of Thread guy interviewing Trump before, I don't know, November or something like that. And the mad lad did it. He got a question in on video officially interviewing Trump. So like everyone that was betting on that cooked. So congrats to that. Iggy Azalea, if you guys did not see,
there was
posted her mother party.
We're not going to be posting anything from there, guys. Just
I don't even want to talk about it in that aspect of things.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, all of that drama aside, shout out to her, man, for like being in the trenches.
Definitely in the trenches. I will say that. Yeah.
I mean, she's building, man. There's some news about her launching a crypto casino with Mother. It's going to be a part of it. And there's also like, she's doing a lot of stuff. And I think Mother's still only at like a 70 million valuation. So I just like, I don't know, man. It's cool. It's cool to see.
I will say she's like, out of everybody, she's probably the person that I would point to. Like, obviously you can go that route of like the way that she is, but that's also, I guess, on brand for her. I actually don't know her like
very on brand. Yeah.
But like in terms of that aspect of things, it's somebody that has come in and like actually adopted who we are. And it's like kind of crazy and adopted by like a different sense, right? There's a different form of adoption that happens whenever you kind of embrace the culture and the culture of like being transparent and open and like being like, I guess, close to touch per se. I don't know. That's weird like to say, but yeah, anyways, it's just a lot of cool stuff.
She's here. She's building. She's about that life. I don't, we'll see what happens with it, but that was cool. That was cool. I mean, I saw a lot of like our people getting photos and videos and stuff like that. So it's cool.
Yeah.
DeGods also launched their token and consolidating everything into one asset. Super, super interesting.
Yeah. I heard some FUD though. So I was talking to some people that are a lot more into like the NFT space than I am. And the FUD that kind of came out of it during token is just like, hey, like there's these people that have, purchased these like assets for, this is kind of the whole conundrum that always happens with us, right? Like they purchase for like thousands of dollars and they only get a certain amount of percentage of that, but like they just kind of let it run. And like, he kind of replied to them. It's like, well, then just buy, the token. Like, I'm just like, we're kind of hopping all over the place. Anyways, I know this is supposed to be short. Never mind. I'll get into it later, but yeah.
Yeah, no, DeGods, it's super interesting. I agree with you. I only mention it, or we only share it here because like culturally they seem so relevant and significant, but they're not in gaming, right? It's I don't hold any of the assets. I'm not too tied to the ecosystem, but I just think it's like news and noteworthy that they launched their token and that they're trying some stuff, they're doing some stuff. The last thing on the culture aspect of things, oh man, we gotta mention, dude, Sanjay going absolutely viral. Is that the Taylor Swift guy?
I don't know. But also, dude, I actually clicked this link. It says Binance founder CZ, and this is the link. So,
is that the wrong link? My apologies.
No, it's all good.
That's wild. Guys, that's absolutely wild.
We got this prepped, but at the same time, probably not as thorough as we wanted to go.
There's like 150 links in our doc that we condense down to like 30, 35. And sometimes they get hyperlinked wrong. But anyways, in other cultural news, Binance founder CZ is set to be released from prison on September 29th. And a lot of people are saying, hey, like the return of CZ, like things are going to get, wild, could be bullish, could be exciting. We'll obviously see how that goes. I don't think he's allowed to return to Binance, but he was obviously very instrumental throughout the previous cycles and is just, typically a leader in the space. So will be very interesting when, he makes his return.
I know, sorry, Betty. I'm like kind of still distracted by Jaxie's news. So I'm just like kind of reading the comments. For people that don't know, so Jaxie seems like to kind of just update everybody real quick. So is house caught on fire? And Jaxie said, that's all that matters. My dog is the true hero. She woke me up, thought she had to pee, but opened the mud door and flames were everywhere. So absolutely crazy. I'm so glad that your family is okay. I know that you're a single father as well. Just yeah, anyways, just like a lot of that stuff probably reflects, but he put his wallet address in there, but I'll be probably sending some, not probably, I will be sending some money after this, but anybody else that wants to do that, I know that whenever somebody's like this and that you care about, you want to have an opportunity to give. So there it is in YouTube's comments and all that stuff if you're on X, but yeah, appreciate you, Jaxie, and I'll send some stuff after this, buddy.
Yeah, we love you, Jaxie. 1000%, man. We take care. You know, this is something that I've always been struck by with Payton, you know, how family oriented he is, and we just take care of our own. And he's
absolutely
through working closely with Payton over the past few years, I've just seen glimpses of his leadership, and it's always comes back to, you know, family and taking care of our own and protecting each other and supporting each other. So much love, Jaxie, much love. Appreciate you being here. Let's talk about token. Payton,
let's get it.
You dropped an 11-minute banger on the timeline, just kind of sharing your raw thoughts. I know Jonah did something similar. I know Memento had a thread. Hunter kind of had a thread. Let's start at high level, man. Man. This is your first token Singapore?
It was.
Mine as well. First time in Singapore.
It's beautiful. I loved it.
What was your first impressions of the city, man? You know, we got out there and, you know, I think like the first things I heard were like, you know, don't chew gum. You can like, you like go to jail.
Yeah, I actually tried to find some gum, but then like there was no gum everywhere. It was very clean, right? In terms of like token, like the country was actually like really beautiful. Like everything's pretty close by. And I use like the subway system a lot. And just it was really cool, man, just to be able to walk everywhere. And I just don't really get to do that like in Oklahoma, just because like it's like obviously there's a lot more land, so you drive a lot of places. But it was really cool to just be in close proximity with a lot of people, but at the same time, like, you know, have like a really cool opportunity to just like walk and take in a lot of stuff. I was like walking a lot and just thinking a lot. And that was something that I really liked, was that in between like places, like it was kind of a fast-paced city, but at the same time really slow because you know you walk to places. So I don't know, I enjoyed it. How about yourself?
That was probably the first thing that struck me too, how clean it was. Interestingly, like, you know, there's not a lot of trash cans around, so it's like a bit hard. Like I don't know how they like I don't know how they,
like Disneyland where there's like a, you know, a trash can every like 10 steps. It was like literally you have to go somewhere to find a trash can.
Yeah. But like culturally, they set those things in place, right? Like they drive the incentives that they want, kind of through the cultural norms, but also like, you know, laws and regulations. So one of the ones is like, yeah, you can go to jail, or like even I think the death penalty for like, you know, drugs and things like that. It's very, very, very strict. There's like no tolerance. They set it there. Look at those wolves. They also like, I think cars are really, really expensive. It's like $200,000 to buy a car because they want to, you know, disincentivize, you know, pollution and driving and things like that. They want to incentivize riding bikes and car sharing and all sorts of things like that. So a lot of really cool cultural things in Singapore that I'd actually like love to learn more about.
Yeah.
The big one for me was the hospitality, man. The people were so amazing and nice and beautiful. The events, man, were so much fun. Shout out to you know, Jonah. Shout out to 3XP. That was the OpenSea event where we were doing some arm wrestling. Super fun. They were good sports about that. You know, it was a big family reunion, as many of these events are. And that's like what's really incredible. We're very lucky. Let's start off with that. We're very great. I'm very grateful for the opportunities to be able to travel the world, and see my best friends and play video games and make content. As far as like, you know, quote unquote jobs go, man, what an amazing opportunity that this is.
Yeah.
So thank you to Singapore. Thank you to Web3 Gaming. Thank you to Coliseum, the organization that kind of flew me out and helped cover some of the trip. huge thank you to the Wolves, right? The Wolves made all of this possible. I want to ask you, man, like, what was your maybe favorite event that you went to? Anything that kind of like stood out?
I think for me, it was the just like the Wolves. It always just pleasantly surprises me. It shouldn't surprise me anymore, but it does anyways. It's just like the family-oriented like Wolves, right? Like the pop-up, and also like how many people care about Wolves. I think, when it comes to the events and people showing up to those events, it was one that was very much like had a lot of names and like very big names coming. Like, you had Jeremy from Exterio, you had Paul Bettner from Wildcard, Paul and Katie made it out. You had like literally big founders that have been very successful. Michael O'Connor,
Jiho,
Meta
Alchemist, Omar.
Literally, like there's the founders, right? And then there's also like the content creators that like, you Gorilla and Hustle and Jesus, and there's just a lot of people that like I just four people. They're just like a lot of people that I just loved, and they just made it out there to do it. But also, with amongst the core Wolves too, there's just such a beautiful relationship there. I think people that have kind of like made the Wolves their home, you can tell the amount of love that they have for one another, because it's like there's just context of all of this history in the Discord. And it just like really shines out in a short snippet during a week. And it's just like, Winterfire, like I was talking to him about deep stuff, like, and it was like only 10 minutes of meeting each other in person. And that happens all the time within Wolves. So shout
out to Winterfire. The first event that I went to was on Monday night. It was the private Web3 Unplugged event put on by Sinjin and Jeremy Horn and Michael O'Connor. And Winterfire was moderating or hosting. And I walk in, and boy, did he do such a great job, had great questions, had great energy. I often get asked to like host things or moderate things, and I get so nervous. I don't like it whatsoever. I don't think I'm very good at it. And people keep asking me to do it. I'm like, guys, I'm so bad at this. And I remember sitting there watching Winterfire. I was like, man, if I could be like this guy, like,
if I could be like Winterfire.
Yeah, this is the person that should be like, hosting and moderating stuff. And I later find out that that's Winterfire, and I'm like, my goodness, like I'm so excited. So that was really, really cool, man. I agree with you, Payton. The Wolves DAO dinner was one of my favorite events as well, because not only just to see all the Wolves and come together, which always feels very, very special, but Paul Bettner was able to speak and kind of like Alpha Night at Wolves Den, like give a little insight into what they're building and what they're doing. And I was like, wow, this is way more exciting than I could have even imagined. I tweeted it out like, we are not ready. Or maybe I put it in my video. And he had said something that just really, really resonated. He said that, years from now, we're going to look back on, events like that and nights like that, being in that room, the energy, is just something special. You're on the cusp of something. We might be crazy right now. Web3 gaming is inevitable, but like no one sees it. No one, outside of our bubble, no one cares about it. But we know that we're going to be a part of this huge, massive paradigm shift. And he has been through that not once, but twice before with mobile gaming and free to play gaming and, VR and stuff. And he's like, I know this feeling. I know I've been here before. I remember it. I know what's going to happen. And like, we're going to all be a part of that. And it's just something very special. And like, I felt that. So it was really, really cool to be a part of that versus like other things. Sometimes events are just like photo opportunities or just like, more baseline, superficial. Wolves always kind of goes a little bit deeper, which is really special.
For sure. I'm really excited about that. And it's kind of like becoming our brand in terms of live events. Is like not this super glamorous place, but really like place that like, I don't know, seems like a home from away from home,
Let's talk about takeaways. Did you have any major takeaways from Token Singapore? I mean, I can share mine first, give you a second.
I would love for you to do, because I also like, a lot of people, if they want to hear like my full take, I already have like a video out there for them, but I would love to hear it.
No, my take was just like how inevitable that Asia is. it was real. You know, we go to so many US based events, you know, GDC, Consensus, NFT NYC, things like that. Going to Asia and seeing the energy and the excitement and the people, and again, the hospitality. So many people from YGG, so many people from the Philippines, so many people from Vietnam and Thailand, and of course, Singapore, you know, coming up and saying hi and, you know, being excited and just connecting with them and feeling their energy was like, man, like it's happening. Korea, right? There's so much I hate to keep saying exciting, but like every time I just met someone, I was like, man, like it feels so good being here, and I want to stay longer. I want to meet, you know, hang out with you more. I want to support you guys more. I want to connect with that demographic so much more, because they're so vital to the space and doing amazing things. I was like, man, like Asia is kind of where it's at on the cusp of a lot of things. I mean, even like the technology, right? Using our Apple Pay to get into the railway station, or, you know, using it at all the pay stations, or at like Store 24 or something like that. It's like, they're on the bleeding edge of technology, and really, really cool stuff happening there.
Yeah, I think like Asia, and I think I said this in my video, Asia like really shows that like they're at the forefront of just tech, but also just like, you know, being a more digital native experience, right? Just like being able to have your phone, and like you don't even have to like really pick up your wallet, to be honest. Like you could just go with your phone and just go somewhere. And yeah, the amount of people that I saw playing on the subway in terms of that stuff, just like, you know, I was just kind of monitoring everything. I was just taking everything in, even the subway. And like everybody was just like on their phones, they were doing stuff. But yeah, I think other than that, like, you know, I got to speak with Gabby, got to speak with Jiho, and just like the importance of community. And I just am, I think that was something that I was kind of talking to you. I texted you saying that, like, you know, I'm a big reflection mode right now. And I think for me, like reflecting on things is like, you know, my stake in the ground is community, and it always has been. And leading and managing a group of people to a certain goal is something that I always care about. And so just kind of like positioning myself into, that's what also like, you know, what Gabby believes. And so is Jiho, you know, in different network effects. And so, yeah, man, I think it's just my life mission in a lot of ways. And so I'm just thinking about it a lot more deeper, and like figuring out how can I do it, you know? And I think that's something that's beautiful. And then also, you know, I spent a lot of time with Paul and Katie, and what they're building with Wildcard is fantastic. But there's going to be an announcement and a town hall this week for a lot of what's happening that was mentioned in Singapore, but that was all behind closed doors, right? So it's about to be very public very soon. And I'm super excited for a lot of people to know what they're building, because what they're doing is freaking amazing, like you said. So super excited about that. And they're about to be public about it, which has been something that the Betners haven't really been talking about a long time. Singapore definitely got people to taste on it, but like the amount of people that came through the hotel room when I was hanging out with Paul and Katie was just astronomical. Huge whales, people that have like, you know, 1%, 2% of the collection coming in, figuring out what they are. And Wildcard was cool, but what they found out what they were building, they were like, holy crap, like that's huge, right? So I'm excited about it, really excited about it.
Very exciting, very exciting. Yeah, Jackson in the comments, Wildcard and Off the Grid definitely going to make it. Theodore from Off the Grid had said, you know, they had a demo video, and they just showed anyone who's played Off the Grid on the weekends kind of is pretty familiar with what's going on. We can't really speak about it publicly because it's still under NDA, but you know, you can get in there and see for yourself for sure. And we're just talking about everything that they've built. They did all of these things, and it's pretty much all complete. The blockchain side of things, the in-game transactions, you know, the marketplace, the skins, all of this stuff. They did all this stuff like before the token was out. And it was like, man, you even talked about it in your video, Payton, like, you know, that them launching, it's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking because it's gonna, you know, be a big, you know, sign for the whole ecosystem, good or bad. But it could change the way that a lot of games come to market, which is just really, really compelling. So that was a really cool event to go to. Let's talk about Solana Breakpoint a little bit. I know you weren't there, but I was able to go Friday and Saturday. I was working with Sam. Shout out to Sam, the legend. He was doing interviews back to back to back.
I know. He was so good, though, in terms of all of the stuff.
That clip where they were juggling and Sam grabs it, that was the first try. which
Amazing.
was incredible.
I love Brian.
Brian's the best, man.
He's so good, dude.
His energy. So I made a joke to him one night. I was like, dude, I'm like, my girlfriend and I joke because she's a morning person and I'm not a morning person. I'm very much an evening person. Like I come alive in the nighttime.
Yeah, you do. Sometimes you don't sleep. I felt like his dad. I was like, go to sleep.
Yeah, he was like, dude, go to sleep. Just looking out for me. But I said to Brian, I'm like, you're an everything person. His energy is just nonstop all throughout, man. But dude, Solana Breakpoint, shout out to Jerry Lee from the Solana Foundation, kind of organizing the gamer side. So Solana Breakpoint was pretty big. It was actually maybe the size of 3XP. And then they had an entire gamer village, which was kind of like blocked off, which was really cool. It was amazing to see all the games and demos that they had on display. Shout out to Star Atlas, of course, massive gaming section. They probably had like 10 PCs set up. Aurora, yeah, it was amazing. It was like, dude, the graphics, like the gameplay,
did it play smooth and everything.
So
I really want to get my hands on Star Atlas.
Yeah,
I used to be really hard on it. I was like probably the hardest critic on it.
I know. They've come so far, man.
I want
really,
to. They've been
really exciting.
They've been impressing me, but no one's reached out to me. Probably because I was very hard on them.
Aurora looked amazing. They also had like 10 PCs. Uncaged was there. They just had a Puma announcement. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Backwoods, Nyan Heroes, Soul Arena, Super Phoenix DAO. Elixir had a bunch of stuff going on there, which was really, really cool. I mean, there was a lot, honestly. So it was really cool to see like Solana embrace gaming so much. Sam was doing interviews back to back, Portal's team, a lot of people. It was really cool. We even got a clip with Anatoly, the founder of Solana. I was able to give him a gamified egg and do a little clip real quick. And then, like, of course, all the Solana people were out in strong force. Got to see Iceyyy running around. Got to see Soul Jakey. Soul Jakey's like really nice in person, man. He's like really like down to earth. He's wild on the internet, but really nice in person. Got to meet him. So yeah, man, Solana Breakpoint was really, really cool. Unfortunately, I think that they announced that next year it's happening in December in Dubai, which is going to make it a little bit harder to like go out to because Token Singapore just like works so well. Yeah.
I think the only issue with like Breakpoint, from what I could understand, is that I think the F1 actually messed up, which was like, it's supposed to be a perk for a lot of people. This was like learnings, I guess, for a lot of people here too. The reason why I took the subway so much is because the F1 like really just shut down the whole city, at least for like blockades and all that stuff. So traffic was crazy and like getting like grabs and all that stuff, which is like their form of Uber, which is absolutely terrible. And I think Breakpoint literally just probably couldn't. It's like it's during the F1, you know, it's just like a weird time. I don't know. And I also wanted to get to this question, and then we can move on. And maybe we skip Token Tracker this week, unless you want to get into it. But I know we're already 30 minutes in, or 40 minutes in. But Storming said, after the event and all the conversations, the feeling that the communities are the center of Web3 gaming is still true. I think what it's harbored for me, Storming, is even more. I think when I was I'm still in processing in terms of my reflections too. But I think like one of my life missions is like raising communities to the point that like there are influencers. So like, you know, there's influencers, people value them so much and like put so much, I guess, money into a specific individual. But if you look past that influencer, really what it comes down to is actually community. And I think one of my life missions is terms of like, I guess, raising the bar for communities and making sure that they get rewarded for the value in which that they create. And so that was something that Gabby was talking about, and that was something that Jiho was talking about. And we talked for like, you know, a couple hours collectively. And we just talked about like community as being one of the most important things of like a superpower for Web3. And I think only a few of us know, because like obviously I led Wolves for the last 3 years. And so having a deeper understanding of like SBTs and Collabland and all that stuff is kind of crazy. Jiho, you know, obviously having one of the biggest network effects of all of Web3, having Ronin, and also the way that they utilize communities and games. It's actually acquiring communities, which we can get to here shortly. And then lastly, Gabby, who has like pretty much an army of people at YGG, but they do a lot more than just like gaming, right? So they're working in a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's just want to answer that because that's obviously a near and dear question to my heart. Communities definitely, and I think the leaders in the space are definitely wanting to even raise community to a higher standard.
Kind of say one thing on that, man. I love that. And Jiho actually had DM'd me and said like, hey, like, I see you're coming out to Token Singapore. Like, let's like meet, like, you know,
yeah,
but let's put something on the books. Which just like blew me away. And like, you know, I was like, yeah, honored, man. And I met Jiho and we spoke for like an hour and it was amazing. And like, just the founders and the people that take the time to do things like that, do things that don't scale, and are still in touch with the community and in the trenches. I think I was like, I forget, I was talking to you, I know Payton, but it was also another reference. And it was just like, oh man, the point's like escaping me, but it's like, oh, like asking Jiho, like, and people like that, like why you're still doing this. And it's like, it's just like addicted to it. Like why why wouldn't I? Like I want to win and like I want to, you know, like what else would I be doing? Just like you have that in you. It's kind of a gift and a curse because like you're never satisfied. Like you're never like happy with it, but like, you know, you just have that entrepreneur mentality in your mind. But with that said, let's actually, Payton, we'll do a challenge. We'll do token tracker in 60 seconds. We've got some quick ones.
I will time you
just to go through it. Number one, I don't know if we've got the links up here, but Mochaverse announcing round 2 of their airdrop. Listen, they say it right there, community is everything, and we heard your feedback loud and clear. Look at that segue. So if you're a big fan of Mocha, they got a round 2 airdrop for your head top. Next one coming up, Hamster Combat is launching on September 26th. We had Catizen launch last week. Big ton gaming ecosystem drop. We're going to see what happens with Hamster Combat. Next, we got Unioverse coming on September 30th. Shout out to Unioverse. They are oftentimes in the chat supporting Ready Up. They're big supporters of me and Payton. Love their game. I think they're doing some really awesome stuff there. So Unioverse token is coming. Kaiden, the token for Robo Kaiden, is coming September 30th with their IDO. So pay attention to that. And we got King Snooch in the chat. So, you know, we got to mention that times are changing. We got dark times confirmed for September. They have not announced a day yet, but there's only 7 days left in September. So it's coming. It's coming either this week or Monday or something. So dark times is coming. That is your token tracker. If you're paying attention to any of those tokens or
there you go, Iceyyy.
Check them out.
Let's go, dude. That was less than 60 seconds. Hey. Oh, dude, yeah, that was also another take from stuff. It was like me, you, and Sam dancing on Sam's. Dude, that was so much fun. Brian, Vidar was there too, dude. It was anyways.
Vidar can dance. My man was rocking all over the dance floor and everything.
Love him. Yeah, it's those military guys, Air Force. You got to watch out for those guys, you know.
Definitely a highlight. Magic Eden party at Marquee.
Yeah, we celebrated their 3 years, man. That was awesome. I'm very happy to be there for the 3-year happy birthday. Yeah. Anyways, happy birthday, Magic Eden. That's
for like
awesome.
6 hours straight. We were going ham on the dance. So I posted a video of Sam with his ridiculous yellow-green highlighter hair. Going wild.
The green candles, what I call them.
The green candle. He brought the bull market back.
Yes, he did. The next specific topic we're actually going into game updates here is actually by Owen Donahue, the founder of InfiniGods, and what they're doing. And they've been like obviously soaring, but he's saying congrats. And this is what I always love about like these founders, you know, saying congrats to their fellow like builders. And I think that's also what Paul Bettner was kind of talking about that night as well. It's like, you know, if you get involved this early with the people that you have, like, you know, it tends to go well for everybody that's involved. You know, a rising tide raises all ships. And so, like, in terms of, you know, Dookie Dash being number 1 now, far away, congratulations to them. And that's what Owen Donahue is saying, just saying like, hey, like, mobile's here, and it's crushing. And Owen, they have like, you know, gotten $1 million, not million, but $1 million downloads via what is it? King of Destiny. Sorry,
Yep.
King of Destiny, and then lastly also Telegram games. He mentions that here too. What's your take on all of this, man? Have you tried Dookie Dash yet?
I did.
I have not tried it yet.
Shout out to Kearney in the chat. So he posted a video at Formula One playing Dookie Dash, and I was like, all right.
That was so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Good piece of content there, Kearney.
So I'm like, all right, man. I downloaded it on the plane. I've been playing it. I actually played a little bit this morning. It's fun, man. Really nice onboarding tutorial. Like it's quick. It just puts you right into the game, and it slowly drip feeds the mechanics to you and gives you that like instant reward feedback loop where you're like feeling like you're progressing. So Dookie Dash is back, guys. It is live. You can download it right now. I also saw someone tweeting about like, even the icon on the phone, like it's don't play this stupid game, it kind of pops out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or play this stupid game, rather, kind of pops out to you, makes you want to play it. There's $1 million prize pool. We've been long awaiting the return of Dookie Dash. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see if this can breathe life back into the Yuga Labs ecosystem. And if they
not even the Yuga Labs, it's far away now, right?
Well, I think they still it's still part, right? It's Yuga Labs. Faraway built it, but this wasn't one of the ones that they sold to Faraway. No, they still own it. But yeah, like it is a Faraway Yuga Labs build. And interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, and it was something that I want to kind of just put here. It kind of rhymes with the what Owen was saying, is that like, Ardo is proof of dork. He's somebody that I follow, and he only has 2 likes for this specific post, but it has like a lot of like insight into it. But people expect speed. Amazon in 2006, every 100 millisecond delay in website load means 1% in drop in sales. So folks booking their holidays do not have time to waste. You reckon games can expect more patience? Like he's pretty much just saying there's no excuse. Like there's like this kind of a convenience factor that the world has been now used to. And that's why he's kind of like putting all of his eggs into the basket of like mobile, and even like shaving down 3 seconds of loading time into his game. And so it just kind of like reacted to me whenever I thought about like Dookie Dash, and just like, man, it's just a simple game. It's so much fun. And then like, people are just kind of not moving on, but like just, I don't know, just an addicting type of gameplay loop for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they can do with it, man. But yeah, let's move on. Parallel. I said it earlier in the opening, Parallel doing parallel things, because they dropped like 3 massive announcements. But first one being the Colony Alpha trailer is going to launch Q1 of 2025. This video is insane. Just kind of talking about the build and the updates. We got some private demos at Token 2049. It's incredible.
Oh, I didn't get to play it, unfortunately, or get a demo from Koji.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I ran into them just like actually at my Jiho meeting, and they were showing us, and it was just like, it's so cool, man. It's so good. Like what you're seeing is like the game, and it's just,
that's so cool.
Dude, this is gonna take like mobile gaming to the next level, and just gaming this feels like the just like a true innovation in the game mechanic. I'm guessing you spent the first 48 minutes talking about meeting me in Singapore.
I love Gorilla, but no, honestly, I got to meet with Gorilla and Hustle, which is the Alpha Wolves crew, and it was amazing. But
it was great.
That comment made me laugh. Thank you, Gorilla, for that.
Gorilla is taller in person and as handsome as you would expect.
Oh yeah,
it was awesome meeting him. Not a big one for the dancing scene though. I tried getting him out on the dance floor. He gave me a little bit. He was like, that's all I got. I got there. But
Justin, shout out to you,
awesome.
Buddy.
I had dinner with Justin. We had shout out to Matrix Fire. Matrix Fire does it right, man. I did not know how well Matrix Fire does it. But boy, they rolled out the red carpet, VIP treatment.
Oh, let's go.
This dinner was like the one that Jonah was talking about, being like, listen, we're doing too much. It's too lavish. But I got to sit right next to Justin, and we chopped it up for like a good hour and a half, which was awesome, man. Shout out to the legend. Really just enjoyed that, man. So that was really cool.
But speaking of dude, Parallel is just freaking not just doing
not just Colony,
Parallel Colony, but Koji was kind of saying, he's like, I just like doing hard things. But yeah,
Crazy.
I think they were kind of teasing this out as like a fun little teaser of just like what they could do with the assets like a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think now they're just like full on building it.
Yeah.
And this is what a lot of people do too in terms of like marketing. They just kind of put out a teaser of like what they possibly want to build to see if there is like some product market fit from in terms of attention and excitement.
Yeah.
But also this is what gives Parallel probably an edge now, right? They've 3D modeled a whole bunch of things that they can now use for, the trading card game. They can use for MMO. It's beautiful. Like honestly, it's beautiful.
Bro.
As well as like, which is probably the biggest is like having these avatars. And now they could probably make generative specific assets that are, just unique things every single time. So absolutely looks beautiful, very stunning. So I'm very excited for Parallel Colony. I can't wait.
Yeah, so they were teasing their third-person shooter game, Tau Ceti, coming to, I believe, base. So insane. I actually talked to the team. So this is like another development studio that is using, their assets to build the game. So that's one of the ways. I'm like, how are you guys building all of this stuff?
Right.
They're like, well, Tau Ceti's we're not building Tau Ceti, someone's building it underneath, the IP. So I'm like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. But that's also, awesome and brilliant. And that's like, them as a publisher,
right.
What the right way to go about it, dude. Insane. Look at this, dude. Holy
if you think about
crap.
also the UGC elements too, if they give their assets away, very similar to like Unreal Engine Fortnite, you can start building a world that's on top of it. But obviously you want to make sure that like, you're not letting everybody use it, which doesn't look like that Parallel and Koji and all those guys are doing too. But absolutely crazy. And this is also
dude, talking about Formula One, man, they're working with Fernando Alonso. I think this was announced like previously that he was like an ambassador and whatnot. It's like, okay, cool, he's an ambassador, but like, no, he's actually an ambassador. Like he's doing commercials and promo videos, playing Parallels, like wearing the merch, saying like, come play Parallel with me. Like massive, dude. This went out to like, 300,000 views at the time. I'm sure it probably has even more now. That's just crazy, like so cool, man. I don't know how they do it. Like who their partnership manager is that can get, Fernando Alonso from Formula One. He's a world champion, dude. World champion Formula One driver. Playing Parallel. Just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Mount Doji says, I love the F1 crypto crossovers. There's so many. Bybit with Red Bull, Kraken with Williams. Yeah, it's just really cool. And I think like, you start getting into those circles too, though. Iceyyy, like I think Parallel was very early to adopt like karate combat, and I think like what I think Parallel is probably the unique thing that Parallel has, I guess their superpower is getting in early to things. Like literally they were one of the first people to do like an NFT collection. They were one of the first people to launch a token. They were one of the first people to do foundations. They were one of the first people to like really pivot towards AI. They were one of the first people to actually get some of these partnerships of like Hearthstone, Ali Straza, all these ones. They've just always have been probably a year ahead of a lot of people. And it seems like that is starting to pay dividends because now it's cascading in terms of relationships. There's like a really like just upwards curve now for Parallel, right? And now you have like people wanting to use their assets to make their own games. And so you can kind of start seeing that. So I'm just excited about them and their ecosystem growing. It's definitely good for Prime. I have Parallel avatars. And so,
there's really a trend there, Payton. They lead and they don't like, they just do it their own way and they listen to themselves. They don't do like the cool new shiny object thing. And it makes me think of like Off the Grid. It also makes me think of like Jiho and Ronin. Like they're doing it the way that they want to, the way that they believe.
Right.
Like, they're not doing these social farming things. They're not just like trying to follow them. So many games like coming to market are like, well, we got to do, what everyone else is doing. And it's like, no, like look at the people that are leading the space and having the most success. It's like, did they do those things? Like, no, why? Because they're thinking from first principles and thinking long-term and building long-term. And if you listen to Gamified and hear Koji on the show, like you really get that sense. He's like, he calls out, a lot of the silliness quite often. And then they come out with stuff like this and you're like, well, yeah, that's what he's putting his time and energy into.
I think the issue with a lot of that stuff too is that like, you know, in Web 2, especially with some of the people that are migrating over, they're so used to a playbook and using that playbook for whatever, right? The free-to-play model is very well proven, you know, in terms of, even though it's slim margins, there's still a way in which that you can produce revenue on a large scale, even with like a simple mobile game. And I think when it comes down to it, whenever you like go in here, it's like whoever makes the meta does really well. Whoever is a soon follow does relatively well too. But, you know, usually some of those people that are coming in from Web 2, they're a little bit slower to adopt something. And so they don't have like, you know, maybe it's 2 or 3 months, but by the 2-3 months are over, you know, it's gone. So it's just one of those things that I think it's you just have to be careful with a lot of it. And I agree with you. Creativity is kind of what's trumping the space, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's fun. So
shout out to the legend Oliver in the chat.
Yes, sir.
They're doing things intentionally. Agree, regardless of what is happening externally, they move forward with their plans, their own internal compass. Oliver, absolute legend. Love seeing you this weekend. Yeah, let's talk about this next one, man. Flappy Bird returning as a Telegram crypto game, but the creator denies involvement. So I actually reported on this in my daily video. So apparently so in 2014, the Flappy Bird founder like shut down the game, apparently because he really like had qualms with like how addictive the game was. And he was not happy and like satisfied or fulfilled that like people were addicted to the game. So he actually took it offline, which is fascinating. I did not know that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, the IP, the trademark, expired around 2018, and it was like up for renewal and grabs, and you know he didn't pursue it. So another entity was able to come in and basically, you know, buy the trademark. And it went unchallenged, and they were the official rightful owners. And I think they basically sat on it for a few years. But in August of 2024, you know, a month ago, another entity was able to buy the IP, the trademark right. And now they're launching Flappy Bird as a Telegram game. So that's here. We'll see how it goes. I would have to imagine that a token would come at some point. And yeah, the original creator of Flappy Bird says like, hey, I have nothing to do with this game. I didn't sell anything, you know, and I also don't support crypto. So, you know, there's that.
There's that. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
So Payton, what do you think about Flappy Bird kind of returning as the IP, launching as a Telegram game, you know, coming back, coming into crypto? And do you have any qualms about, you know, how that whole transaction of the trademark went down?
Yeah.
Is that just like,
that's
hey,
never, I think if it's me, that's really rough. You know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, something that you built is now being probably manipulated in a way in which that you didn't want it to be is like very hard, especially if I have like qualms. I don't have qualms with crypto, but if you do have it or whatever, but also at the same time, I think if you cared enough, you would have pursued the trademark. So you would defend it. Right. So I don't know all this stuff, and I don't really want to comment on the political side of things because I don't really understand all the details. Because it's usually, you know, like whoever has the largest mic is pretty much wins. So I don't know if like Flappy Bird or all that stuff in terms of Telegram games. I told this about it on I think it's Simplified, and I think Telegram games are starting to kind of like really be proven for like pretty much a bypass of like the App Store in some ways, right? Of just like, hey, Telegram's now having like apps being built on their specific stuff. It just in the frame of like Telegram games, but there's all different types of applications, right? Games are probably the highest form of an application that you can do because it's very complex. There's a lot of different mechanisms that you have to code for. And so I think that's like really huge for the ecosystem and how easy it is. And I think it's for the people that are using Telegram, it's a huge retention tool, right? I'm still a Discord dog, will always be a Discord dog. And Discord's doing the same thing too, right? Like Discord's having like applications being done in terms of like that aspect of things. And so it seems like both of the ones that are leading this specific charge of Telegram and Discord are like messaging platforms. They're really going heavy into applications that are native to their platforms. So I I think it's Flappy Bird's just a huge name. It's going to bring attention. People are going to download. There's like, oh, what is this aspect of things, which will lead them down. Oh, I didn't know this was capable of doing, which leads to more developers, more builders, and more people doing it, as well as more consumers on the app in terms of retention, right? So a lot of things there.
Yeah, Oliver Maroney in the comments says, it's a very interesting model for referrals. It's working and proving to work from a networking referral standpoint. I think there's something to be said for that. Very interesting point, Oliver. I spoke with Corey from Honeyland, and he said essentially the same thing. That is the meta right now. There's a ton of referral networking and cross-pollination happening with the Telegram ecosystems, really just like referral groups, sending people into games and whatnot.
Right.
Probably a meta that won't last very long as it kind of gets, diluted. Because right now, even Corey admitted, like, a lot of it is just people kind of farming points and, double dipping and triple dipping and things like that. Which is not to say anything negative about that. I think, that's been a pretty common practice in a lot of referral marketing, affiliate marketing.
Right.
That's a common thing.
It's also it's all bases off of like percentage of like actual revenue, generating things.
Yeah, that's ultimately going to be the metric of success. And I think it's perfectly fine, right? Getting as many people in as possible and seeing, if you can retain them and if it's sticky enough, which, games are like,
that's
amazing
what it's all
for
about.
that.
If you really believe in it, get those people in there, see if you can do it,
Yeah. You know who did it, Payton? Kaleiwahea.
Yes, sir.
Kaleiwahea did it. 315 million market cap on launch, over $1 billion in fully diluted value, circulating. Super strong launch for the Telegram game, and likely bodes well for the upcoming Hamster Combat token we spoke about. I think that's launching September 26th.
Launching with 30% of the supply out too. That's crazy. A lot of like, it's still kind of a low float, but at the same time, like not as low as some of like our launches that we try to manipulate the price to. And literally just popped off. And like, this is my favorite comment at everybody. Not gonna lie, it feels bad to have the Telegram game launch at a higher FTV than Blast. Freaking, I love Iceyyy so much,
dude. I'm so glad that you saw that one too, because I was gonna reference it, man. Crazy. It's so interesting that that's the case, right? I just checked the price right now. It is down to 75 cents. So down about 25% from the launch price.
So just under $1 billion market cap then.
Yeah. 156 market cap, and then fully diluted value is 757. But still insane, really successful launch for Kaleiwahea. So congrats to everyone there.
Not everyone was happy though.
Not everyone. A lot of the airdrop farmers were not happy. Because there were some changes to the airdrop qualifiers. People got a much smaller allocation than they were anticipating, and people just like generally were not happy. This did come out before the token drop, so I'm not sure what the
I think it was the speed in which that it came out though. I think when I read this one here, let me see if I can pull it up as well too. But I think it was the speed. So I was reading kind of this. I think it was like released like just before the announcement, which that's happened before. And I think it's just to kind of like sweep something under the rug or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's like, that's never fun. Right. So I think there's a sad thing here let me share this here. And it seems, and I don't know, again, this is us being in here, guys. We're in token, so we didn't have the ability to like go deep into one specific subject, but like this specific user, hamstring FCB, and if you guys want to, you guys can research it more deep to see how valid it is. But honest players are those who spent money buying stuff in the game. So pretty much they're saying like, hey, if you bought something in the game, we'll reward you more token. Those who had no funds and played the game every single day, 16 to 24 hours, are cheaters. So what I think Kaleiwaha's saying is like those are people of value, because that increases the retention rate in which of like these are like have crazy 7-day retention rate of whatever. But really all of us know kind of the game that's being played, which is incentive alignment for the token. Hey, I'm going to play this however long you want me to play it, so I can earn a token that is worth millions of dollars or hundreds of dollars, because I live in like a country that is a lot of money, right? Even our country, like in terms of like first world countries, there is still a lot of money to be made even for play to airdrop. But also like not identifying cheaters, banning their accounts, reward only those who bought fish and gave us more money. others can go cry, right? So that's kind of like the issue here is like, you know, there's some people happy. With all that said, Iceyyy, you never can make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm somebody that's like, hey, if you give me money and revenue, I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some back. You know what I mean? And yeah, in terms of metrics of like what's more powerful to like raise or that leads to more revenue, either through a higher valuation on token or exchanges being listed, it's most likely retention in terms of time that people are willing to play and the amount of money they're willing to pay. Right. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, I get why people are upset, but I also understand the builder side of things too. Right. So it's difficult. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I completely agree, man. I'm just like, you know, enjoying the comments here. Shout out to G Crod coming through, the legend.
G-Crod.
And
up,
Jack saying the comment section is 14% more sexier when G Crowd appears. I have to say I agree. Shout out to Jack. Big congratulations. If you guys did not see, he is joining the Meiji team, working with Sinjin. They're going to be cooking over there.
Should have a Meiji night. Now we're working with Zai.
Yeah. And just to follow up on your last point, Payton, you know how to make me happy. You give me really cool, high quality bracelets. I still have my Wolves Dow one. I actually wrap it around my mic, so it's all like crumpled. So I think I'm gonna like stop doing that. But shout out to Oliver. I'm still wearing the OpenSea Morningstar Gunzilla bracelet because I love it. I think it's beautiful. Although it keeps like getting in my way. With that said, let's move on to the last big gaming topic. Then we'll hit you with some quick hits. We'll move on to the news for the day, and then we'll get on out of here. Ronin doing Ronin things. You know what's better than one game? Two. You know what's better than two? 7. 7 new games forging on Ronin. We got Cambria, Pixel Heroes, Karero, Wilds, Beasts of the Island, thing like that. Party Icons, Extreme Verse, Last Odyssey, and Infomon. So if you guys remember, Ronin announced their Forge program a few months back. I think this is kind of like their games can apply to come develop and be a part of the Ronin ecosystem. I don't think they're getting like full publisher support. Like, you know, a game like Tatsumiko, who was announced, you know, moving over to Ronin. I think that's like a much higher level of engagement and partnership. But still really, really cool to see Ronin make massive moves. I mean, you've got Party Icons, you've got Cambria, you've got some huge titles on that list. Really,
this
really
goes
cool.
Into Jiho's point though, right? So I got to, you know, we took a Uber together on the way to one of the Wolves dinners, and I was kind of just talking to him of like, what do you think? Like, I don't know how we got into the subject, but we ended up talking about communities, right? And he said like the reason why like they accept people into the Ronin ecosystem is that they also bring a native community to them too. So this is what happened. I ended up asking him, hey, are you worried about saturation in the Ronin ecosystem because you're getting your specific Ronin ecosystem to support all these new upcoming projects, you know, in terms of like money and all that stuff, like, you know, they pay for mints, you know, there's just this kind of like stuff. And he actually kind of like not pushed back on it, but like just answered in a very Jiho way. He said like, you know, the way that we pick games coming onto the platform, they also have a native community that loves them. And I was like, that's so brilliant because that's also the same like type of Binance structure too, right? Like really, if you think about it from Binance, what do they need? They need new users and they need like bigger like whales, right? So they usually pick a specific, you know, application, DeFi protocol or whatever, whenever they have kind of hit a critical mass of people that could come over and migrate to Binance. Well, the same type of thing is what Jiho's doing for Ronin, right? In terms of having these specific people look at all these specific icons, right? At least ones that I understand, which is Cambria and Kurobis. I know that they have a fundamentally big user base and people that really love them, even if a cult-like audience. You look at, what's it called? Forgotten Runioverse. That's also another one. You talk about Tatsumiko. Talk about very in-love communities of that specific IP. They're going into they're going into a Ronin ecosystem that is also loves that IP. So it's just like really cool to see kind of like where Jiho's heads at in terms of picking. It's not just it's a good game, it's almost completed. That's not the only thing that they're looking at. They're actually looking at the underlying community and do they have a cult like following, which everybody that signed with Ronin kind of does.
I love that, man. I love where your head is at, man. Dude, Payton is like on like a token Singapore just high, man. You're in the zone. I feel like you're like in a flow state, man.
I'm in a flow state.
Give it
dude,
to
I've just
me,
been reflecting
baby.
a lot. I still need to
Give
talk
it
to
to
you.
me. I love it. I love it. Payton is bringing the energy today. Let's go, boys. Dude, this is why. All right, can I actually quick side note, man? The Wolves DAO dinner, man. You introducing it and just talking, and then seeing you like move through the room, and I was just watching you, man, and like I was just like fanning out for a moment. I was like, dude, that's Payton. Like that's Payton of Wolves DAO. And I forget. It's not that I forget, but I'm like, I just was like, man, I get to do like everyone here in this room would like love, you know, to talk to Payton for 5 minutes. And I'm like, I get to do a show with Payton for 2 hours every single week. I get to talk to him every single week. Like, I'm so grateful for your friendship, for your partnership, for your mentorship. Again, it's crazy that I get to do this with you, brother. And
well, I'm thankful for you, man. It's same type of feeling that I have, right? I think you think that you get a lot. Yeah, you get a lot from me, but I also get a lot from you. That's why it's a great show. So
yeah, amazing. Real quick on the last Jiho thing, let me just share this because I found the tweet.
Yeah, please.
My thing will go towards it.
Exactly, G Crowd. Iceyyy forgets he's Iceyyy.
I don't know why my computer doesn't want to work. I think I'm sharing it, but I don't know if I can bring it up. It's just you know, Jiho calling out Solana, man. Oh boy. Yeah. Jiho wants it all. He said today is Solana breakpoint. So let me lay forth the plan to destroy Solana, take their best games like Tatsumiko and help them succeed on Ronin and other Ethereum gaming chains. Turn on DeFi fee switches. You know, when Trump wins the election and DeFi tokens will be up, DeFi TVL will be up, circulating ETH will be down and ETH will be up and ETH security will be up. And this will leave Solana with meme coins only. Jiho, I mean, I met with him too, man, and that was like the sentiment that I got. Jiho wants to win and wants to.
He's very competitive.
He's got that dog in him.
Of somebody that is that competitive and has a vision and a goal of just very singular minded, which is like, you know, gaming, and it's always been about gaming for him. And so,
absolutely. With that said, let's get some quick hits going. I don't know if I can bring this down. Maybe you have them up. We teased it earlier. OpenSea and Off the Grid skin coming to Off the Grid. This was an exclusive from Token Singapore. Again, the event that I got this bracelet from. Shout out to Oliver and Theo for allowing us to post this. This is so cool, man.
It is so sick.
It is. Oliver, if you're here,
what gun is
the
it for?
skin. I don't know if we can say. The
M4.
I'm pretty sure this is the AK. Pretty sure this is the AK.
I like the M4 better. But anyways, I'll talk to Oliver about it. We'll talk to
super cool, guys. Off the Grid is coming. It is like Theodore said. I don't know how much I can share. I came late to the meeting, so there was like if there was an NDA, like I missed it. I don't know. Maybe I agreed to something on the Luma when I signed up, but all I'll say is that they said that they have a massive go-to-market, marketing campaign coming. Can't speak about it, but like, oh, I'm so excited for Off the Grid.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. Binance confirms the launch of Moonbix. So this is their Telegram mini game. So obviously Binance has been launching Hamster Combat. I think they launched Catizen. They're getting into a lot of the Telegram gaming tokens. They're paying attention to Telegram and Ton blockchain. They are testing the waters and launching their own game called Moonbix. This actually released, this leaked actually. And then it was later confirmed. So really something to pay attention to. Binance is obviously a massive player. If they are getting more excited and bullish about Telegram gaming, maybe this is not just a flash in the pan. Maybe there's, where there's smoke, there's fire. Ton did just raise another $30 million to build out, their ecosystem. So could be really interesting. Could bode well for, gaming tokens. If these go well, maybe Binance lists more gaming tokens, and the floodgates kind of open. So
yeah, for sure. I think I'm like a little bit nervous because like it seems like we're trending more towards botted, numbers.
Yeah.
And not so much like revenue as a thing, which like Cadison has some, but and everything like that. But it seems like Binance really sets the stage for what a lot of other people put in terms of their centralized exchanges, like their application process is the hardest out of everybody's. And, it's all about numbers, which is like numbers in a lot of ways that are like botted, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we can move on.
Another last quick hit. We got Uncaged securing a Puma partnership. Uncaged, our beloved friends are working over there. King Snooch is doing some community stuff over there. Tony, I think, is advising them. They've been making a ton of updates to the game. Polo, I think, is leading community there as well. So massive, kind of cool Puma. I mean, that's a big brand. That's a big partnership. So yeah, if you guys haven't been paying attention to Uncaged, they were at the Solana Breakpoint Gamers Village as well. So really, really competent team, and I think the game is getting a lot better. They've revamped a ton in the ecosystem, so could be one to keep an eye on. We got 2 games also to keep an eye on, games to watch. Talking about Iceyyy Games, one of the sponsors of Ready Up, Riftstorm moving to Iceyyy. Yeah, I do too, man. Conviction Labs, previously rebranded from Mythic Protocol. They've been in the space for quite a while. I think I got a shirt from them from
I got one Singapore. Too. We'll play in it
with some coffee. So
nice.
the Mythic Protocol, now Conviction Labs coffee. I still have like some from like 2 years ago when I met them at NFT NYC. Riftstorm, super fun. Massive title. So massive win to be moving to Iceyyy.
So again, good, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. Riftstorm's cooking. Iceyyy is cooking. I also wanted to share DeFi Kingdoms.
Yes,
DeFi Kingdoms partnering with Metis. Super cool. And DeFi Kingdoms also has PvP coming. So if you're been in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem for a while, you know that PvP has been one of the most highly requested features for a while, forever. And it's finally here. Really, really cool. Shout out to Dreamer. I got to see him at Token Singapore, or actually Solana Breakpoint. I love the DeFi Kingdoms community. I love the guys over there. Shout out to Sargent. Shout out to Boron. Long-standing, GameFi project from the previous cycle, still out here, still cooking. So could be one to watch, guys. Jewel was a runner of the last cycle. And everybody loves a comeback story. So if we hit another bull run, keep an eye on it. With that said, we're at the halfway point of the show. So whether you are a seasoned collector or just getting started, who's just getting started out here? We're all veterans.
Yes, sir.
OpenSea has something for everyone. Discover, buy, sell, trade a diverse range of digital assets, from unique art pieces, virtual real estate, to in-game items and domain names. Purchase some off the grid skins with Guns token when that all launches. OpenSea is the largest and most trusted marketplace. The diehards supporting Web3 gaming, streaming Web3 gaming on the OpenSea channel, putting Web3 gaming on Front Street with incredible partners like Oliver Maroney and Adam over there. Just in the trenches, down, hosting events, out there, shaking hands and kissing babies. Very accessible. What's not to love about that? And literally, OpenSea is the only marketplace I've ever known how to use and enjoyed using. So it's
it's
where
very
I
easy
trade.
to use, man. Yeah, it's just fantastic.
And of course, Honeyland. If you guys have not signed up for tons of dungeons or downloaded Honeyland, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my icy heart. It is melting as we speak. If you have not tried one of these games, it's so easy. You can play the game within 10 seconds. And if you do, the next time I see you, I will give you a Honeyland pin. Actually, I got to find it's over on my badge. Super cool pins, man. I love them. So go to t.me/tons of dungeons _bot.
Give away merch too if you want.
Oh, dude, that's the back of the shirt.
Yeah, it's the back of the shirt. For Singapore. I actually took quite a bit home. I accidentally forgot that I had quite a bit in my bag. And so I have a few large, I think extra larges, which are like Asian sizing. So it's really larges and extra larges if anybody wants to do them. So we'll probably do a giveaway maybe once a week until they're gone.
Love that. Love that. And last but not least, Iceyyy Games is the world's first layer 3 solution for AAA gaming, powered by Off-Chain Labs' Arbitrum technology, and is absolutely cooking with new games building on Iceyyy announced every single month. Games like Lost Glitches, My Angry Yakuza Girlfriend, Planet X, which I am probably most excited for besides Riftstorm and Meiji, because I am a mobile COD addict. And if Planet X looks like plays as good as it looks,
is Planet X the one that we kind of looked like it was far away? Not far away. Farlight?
Yes.
Sick.
And dude, like I will be playing Planet X every single day when it comes out. I'm really excited for that game. So it's no wonder that Iceyyy went 12 weeks as the #1 blockchain for activity. So make sure you go follow Iceyyy Games and turn on notifications because they're just getting started. We've got a long partnership with Iceyyy Games. We couldn't be more excited about that. So thank you, Iceyyy.
Also put some alpha out here too. I agree with G-Crowd. Iceyyy is soon going to be gaming powerhouse. I don't think most people give them recognition they deserve. And I think they actually, I don't know. I've never actually talked to Sobi or any of the founders at Iceyyy Gaming, but mostly about like their specific thought process is probably very similar to the process that Ronin has in terms of that. You look at all the games that they've adopted, they all have a fundamental community that helps the adoption of Iceyyy come into, right? And also, they are sponsors of us and we're super excited about it. And there's a reason why we wanted to go with them, not only because they have good games, but also just phenomenal people.
Absolutely, guys. With that, let's talk about some industry news, man. First up, I think let's talk about Treasure, man. Treasure, they last week or maybe the week before put in a proposal that to leave Arbitrum and move over to ZKsync.
It blew my mind, to be honest.
Yeah, breaking news this morning. The proposal officially passed, so it will be going through. It will be happening. Karel Vuong of Treasure shared more info on why they wanted to go to ZKsync, what the move is. Basically, ZKsync is the end game of scaling and security. And you know, the tech, I think maybe when they started was further out. People didn't think it was gonna happen for quite a while. But really, I mean, the advancements that ZKsync has made over the past 1 to 2 years is quite remarkable. And it just makes a lot more sense, according to Karel. So there's a really great thread. It's actually really, really appreciated him putting out his thought process. And you know, thinking from a first principles standpoint. So this is a really good read if you're in into that kind of thing. So I would highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, man, Treasure moving to ZKsync. Yeah, you said this blew your mind, Payton. I mean, what were your thoughts about this?
Just like Treasure equals Arbitrum, right? In my eyes, I've only known Treasure as that, as also Treasure equals. So it's like Arbitrum equals Treasure. Treasure equals what was it? Man, I'm and now it's blanking. I'm blanking on it, but it's the pixelated game that just like got all my money. 0.115 ETH, Writs of Passage, gosh, geez, a Beacon. Gosh, geez,
Beacon,
sorry. Took me a while.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blake. So it's the Beacon. But yeah, in terms of that aspect of things, it's just like that's an Arbitrum ecosystem. How I've seen it, right? And they've helped like with a lot of adoption, even just through their game. And so it's just weird to me, to be honest. Not a lot of loyalty seems like in terms of just like a lot of aspects of things. And that's just kind of how it is. This probably just proves it even more of like, you know, if somebody's building on your blockchain and all that stuff, it's just a chapter. Sometimes it seems like not just like the full book. And it just kind of, I don't know, feels weird. And I haven't like had like a lot of time to like really seep in it and like read the whole thing. But yeah, it just felt weird to me. That's all.
Yeah, I covered this in my daily news video. I said, I don't really understand what any of this means, but all this migrating is giving me a migraine.
Nice.
as a market participant, it's quite annoying to follow all this stuff, to be honest, because you get invested, and then chain wars come and things move, and it's like it's a hassle, right? Someone was talking about it recently, just like ultimately the chain abstraction stuff needs to happen, where none of this stuff matters, and we're just playing good games, and all of it is kind of under the hood, and you don't know what's going on and all that stuff, which, I mean, according to Karel here, that's kind of the point of moving to ZKsync. So yeah,
it's a good question though. Like, okay, so chat's kind of asking this thing, and I don't know if somebody in chat does know. So G-Crowd saying, if I was Magic, I would have tried all I could do to keep them, which kind of makes me kind of think, does Magic not go with Treasure? Because I thought that was always kind of like how it happened. And Blake is saying, yeah, to be honest, what does this mean for Magic that I hold? And to your point, the abstraction is definitely needed, but until then, there's still a lot of, specific tokens. They're just gonna be worthless. Like, I don't know, migration and all that stuff. It just like, it's such a, and it's also just kind of sucky because we as consumers lose out a lot of it, because it's just like, oh, we have to show up now. Like I bought my Rites of Passage with like the Magic, right? And all that stuff. And now, like, what do I do now? It's just, I don't know. It's just very frustrating. Very confusing for me about Smoke Brains and Smobal, and they're very tied to Treasure. Yeah, all of this, right? So it's just kind of a messy thing, because once you start, like, especially Treasure, it was like such a Arbitrum related thing. You build your whole tech stack on that. Then collections are starting to build on top of you.
Yeah.
And you're that fundamental like layer. If you pull it, now there's all these people that are just like lost, and like you can see that in chat. Blake's asking about Magic, and these guys are not like, these guys are not retail. These guys are like really like
in it. We're in it. We're in it. We don't know what it
means. Freaking confusing, right? So yeah, and Jawa, it says very confusing. So, and if Jawa's confused, oh, that means I'm confused for sure. But anyways, I guess onto more exciting notes. Games.gg. We saw Omar there. Games.gg was just fantastic brand. Keeps on building. And nominations for People's Choice Award are now open. And I haven't done it yet, but like you can nominate a whole bunch of categories, right?
Yes.
Actually, I'll pull it up while you I want to get your take on it. But
Game Awards are back, baby. We've talked about it. Going down in Manila at the YGG Summit. Everyone is posting who they're voting for creators. You absolutely love to see it. Thank you, everyone who has put my name into the ballots. It's very guys, humbling.
Can we get in chat? Can we W in chat? Can let's get this guy a content creator of the year, huh? W's in chat.
It's very it's very humbling just to be recognized and honored. So thank you guys. But like, it's that time of the year again. The excitement is here. We're all so like, it's just, we're all talking about it. It creates such a conversation. So shout out to Games. Shout out to Omar. I met George in the meta finally at Token Singapore.
There's all these W's in chat, so we just
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
We need to get him content creator of the year, guys. I know Sam is up there too. We got to get this guy in. I know it can't be a tie, but I would love either of those guys to win.
I absolutely would too, man. But there's so many great creators this year. Like,
only Iceyyy.
That's what sticks out to me. That's one of the things that sticks out to me, guys. Like the progression year over year. I remember Bryson winning, right? And it was like Bryson, Crypto Stash, Spike, Jonah, even Kagi was like nominated and whatnot. And like last year, right? Sam just dominated and crushed, and it was amazing to see. But like Yellow Panther had a great year, Sanjay, Eliza. This year we got like Yukin and King Snooch and Addis and the Catalyst and Crypto Hato, and just like so many amazing creators, just like really, really crushing, really pushing the space forward. People like Kearney and just like, it's really, really cool. It's humbling. It's exciting. I like these things because it gives breadth to the conversation, and everyone's kind of getting recognized and having fun with it. So shout out to Games. It's super fun. Go nominate, who you want to nominate. Don't take it too seriously, of course.
Take it seriously.
Kind of going for fun here.
This is what you guys got to do. So you log in, you put Iceyyy, and then why do you think you should win? Good looking. Gang.
So kind.
Ready up, co-host.
Let's go. Talk about that. Listen.
60-second video. See, I'm just doing a tutorial on how to do it, guys. Daily uploads. Yeah.
Man.
Then you just click send, guys. Nominate. All right. I actually need to put more nominations, so I'm not going to click submit now.
You can actually, I think you can continue to go back and keep nominating people, which is really, really fun.
Exactly. And then you log into your second account and do the same. All right. So
okay, this is not about me, guys. This is not a bit about me. This is a bit about games and the awards and everything that's coming, right? Like who do you guys got, right? Game of the year, right? Best
Omar, hurry up, dude. This freaking thing sucks. Omar, let me nominate my friend, dude.
Most anticipated game, best mobile game, best sports game, best action game. Like it just kind of it's a moment to reflect on the year and the progress that we've made and the games and give shine and highlight and recognition and have fun. So most important thing, guys, I feel like a politician, go vote.
Go vote for Iceyyy.
Go support and have some fun. All right, let's move on to the next topic because Payton is not gonna let me.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking Omar, dude. I'm trying to. No, I'll talk to him for all of us. All right, I'll tell him, hey, 20,000 of us already tried, and it's at an error, so you should definitely put 20,000 into Icey's vote.
There you go. Let's move on to the last news topic of the day.
See how much squirmy he is, guys. He's getting with it. He wants to move on so badly. This is the fastest topic he's trying to get to.
4.2 million monthly daily active users for blockchain gaming. What? 4 million? We got 4 million Web3 gamers daily. Yeah. This is amazing. This is a report from DAP Radar, who typically I kind of like raise an eyebrow a little bit too, but this was done in collaboration with the Blockchain Gaming Alliance, who do great work and have been here to push the space forward. So this is incredible. They tracked the monthly wallets, seeing a 5% increase month over month, hitting 4.2 active wallets. That's crazy. Ronin remaining the top gaming blockchain. Talk about the top games. Pixels was on there. Sweat Economy was on there. I think there was one. If we scroll down, it'll come up.
Oh yeah, scrolling down. I'm sorry, I'm looking at chat for everyone.
I should pull this up myself as well. But really, really cool, man. I mean, just first thing, Payton, like, what do you think about 4.2 million daily active wallet? Now we know wallets doesn't necessarily mean users and whatnot, but still, like, Ronin getting 1.3. I mean, I can see that, right? Between Pixels and all the games that they've got going on there. Iceyyy, of course.
Yeah. I would like to know probably like what active wallets used by. I would also like to know like how much, because like not all the games are people buy, right? There's like minnows and like that don't even pay for anything. And to probably dictate what that means, when it comes to active, like what does active mean? Are they signing transactions? Are they doing all that stuff? They could still be botted, of course, but at the same time too, how many of those are spending? How much revenue is coming through it? That like, especially Ronin stuff. I'm very curious to see that element of things. So if you scroll down just a little bit more, we can look at the top games, which is interesting. I mean, this kind of gives a little bit more insight, right? So we've got KGen, which was previously IndieGG, right? They rebranded to KGen, which, may or may not have some inflated numbers there. I mean, all of this is probably a little bit inflated, and it's at your discretion what you think that number is, right? Is it 5 or 10%? Or is it, 20 or 30? Like, is it higher in your mind? I'm inclined to think it's, maybe around 15% would like feel probably reasonable. But yeah, Boomland has 1.89 million, wallets. Seems high. I'm not sure. I don't know Boomland personally. It seems very high for if they had that much. Why aren't they like touting it more? And why are people like, I guess, like for Pixels, right? So it has a higher amount of more numbers than Pixels. And so does Indie.gg, but Pixel still remains as kind of like a, on the timeline, and that might be because of like the founding team. There are probably silent specific apps that like don't really care about the numbers, all that stuff. But like Pixels, definitely, you know, even Seraph like has like some type of presence on the timeline from here and there, like Lumitera. And so it just seems like the Ronin ecosystem ones are a little bit more maybe transparent with the numbers, which is good to know, good to see, right? That's what you want to see. So
yeah, super cool. I mean, you know, maybe not some of the titles that like you would want to see up there, but I mean, really, really cool to get this report, right? To have some of these benchmarks. So shout out to Blockchain Gaming Alliance for putting it together, man. I want more data and things like this. So cool to see. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about, you know, these numbers, right? Do you think that we're anywhere near 4 million? And what do you think about some of the games and whatnot? And what do you think that says about the space? And does it bode well? And where do you think we'll be like, you know, a year from now? You know, like really interesting.
Year from now, Iceyyy is the content creator of the year. And so it works, guys. Now, just so anybody wants to know, I just want to let you guys know that. You're clocking and typing. So
I will say that I don't think that I've earned it this year.
Bull crap.
Personally, I don't.
Now he's asking for it, guys. Tell him why he earns content creator of the year this year.
Right. I will say that I'm very excited about my daily video, and I'm gonna work really, really hard on those. And 2025, I might feel like I've earned it, and I might be going for it a little bit. But I think that there are some people that have crushed it this year that have done really, really well. That I would love to see win, and I think that do deserve it. If like, you know, yeah. Like if
everyone's saying stop capping.
If somehow
I think is a millennial term of not a millennial term, but a Gen Z term since you're lying.
If I somehow ended up on that stage, I would feel like Macklemore when he won like best rap album of the year. And he's like, Kendrick Lamar, you deserve this. Like, I don't deserve this, man. Like, you got robbed, bro. You got robbed. Like, you know.
No. So I think, yeah, everyone just DM Iceyyy later saying why he can win content creator of the year. You've done a lot for the space, man, this last year. So I think you should take that in.
You, man.
I'm going to start the narrative. Good to go, because he's too humble to start it himself. Yeah.
All right. Making me nervous out here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take it away, sir.
Yeah. All right. We have trailers. Let's go, guys. I'm freaking excited about it. We only have like 2 today, unless Iceyyy or anything like that. If you guys have another trailer to watch that we probably have missed, because we probably have, please put it in the chat, and then we'll get in there. Yeah, and Justin saying you are. Yeah. All right. Sounds good, guys. Let's get this thing started.
I'm gonna up some tags. Got $20 in my pocket.
All right,
dude. Banger from MixMob season 2, baby. Yeah.
Guys, late. You know the rules, K.
Yeah, that's Star Wars. That's Star Wars in there. That's Star Wars MixBot. Oh, baby. Going into hyperdrive. Let's go.
Dude, what a freaking trailer.
Banger.
Dude, that's sick. I also just like the music and everything like that, man. It's just good stuff. Dude, okay, this is embarrassing to say, but I've never actually tried MixMob.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun, man.
What would you rate it, guys? What's chat? You guys know the rules. Out of 10-point scale, 10.0 being the highest, 0.0 being the lowest. But I would say, you know, it really cool in terms of Star Wars and all that stuff. You know, I think the Stormtroopers are freaking iconic. So 7.1 in terms of that.
Yeah, I'm going 7.7, man. I enjoy it. Shout out to them. Little trailer for season 2. You know, good music, fun. Listen, it's not easy to, you know, make like a high quality trailer like this, and especially just for like, you know, to announce like just like season 2 kind of coming, you know, like they didn't have to go hard in the paint like that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Got to see the MixMob team at Breakpoint. Shout out to Simon. maybe I'm biased. I don't know. You know, I like the game. I like the trailer. It was good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Sometimes we're too close to the team and stuff like that. Like I just like literally love so much of the founders. It's hard for me to be like, you know, unbiased in a lot of ways. Jack is saying 6.1, Crimson saying 8.0. KE saying 10.0. I personally play this and I can say that the game is really improved version. Love to play it. Love it, KE. Also good to just like know that like, you know, KE's probably a little bit more mobile player. And so to get that accolades are pretty awesome. AE saying 8 out of 10. Jack saying being nice today, 7.1. I agree with you, buddy. J Crowd 7.5. King Snooch, I thought was a really good comment here. But stormtroopers can't hit the side of a barn. Will they miss that much on the track too? Actually, yeah, that's their passive is actually they hit. It's like a 50% chance of actually hitting it. No, it's actually hilarious. Sovereign Jawa 7.9. King Snooch 7.6. And then yeah, Jack, me and you, mind meld, buddy.
Right on the money
for sure. Crypto Grit, welcome, buddy. Yo, we're at the trailer section of this. So we have the last one, which we've kind of already played, but we're gonna turn on the volume and everything like that and kind of go into it. But it is going to be parallel on that. And also, if you guys do have a trailer, it's okay to show it here. I would love to watch it because this is our last one for today. So, which is light comparatively what we usually do. All right, bam.
Get into it.
Our art team got together to imagine what a shooter game set in the parallel universe could look like.
Dude,
This project quickly grew
voiceover
expectations, fueled by our community's incredible response to the idea.
That's what I was talking about, right?
Driven by your passion and feedback, we embarked on a journey to create expansive new environments.
It looks beautiful, though. Oh,
detailed characters, challenging enemies, and unique creatures, each thoughtfully designed to enhance and broaden the parallel world.
That looks beautiful.
We are leveraging the curated work from our avatars collection, our extensive 3D assets library, and the latest in Web3 technology, all brought together through the power of Unreal Engine.
Crazy.
Today, we are excited to share a first glimpse into Project TEASERS.
I love that name too. I don't know what it is, but it sounds dope.
It looks sick.
Woo! Dude, I hate to say it, but like, I wish this is like what Illuvium was. Like, imagine this was Illuvium.
Yeah. You know, it's this is the hard thing, right? Illuvium is kind of like this, but also the new Star Atlas kind of looks like this, right? And so the modeling and all that stuff is kind of crazy. And yeah, I have okay, let's rate this one, but also me and you are also on the same wavelength too. I forgot that the Avalon also dropped something while we were in Token. I want to definitely get that. But what do you guys think of this, guys? I'd probably say like, you know, 8.0 flat.
Yeah, like I'm like 7.9, man. Like it's you know, they're showing off so many aspects of it. There's actual real gameplay, but then there's actually, you know, cinematic stuff, the characters, the voiceover, the sound design. Like it makes you want to play. It brings you into the world. Yeah, I loved what they gave us here.
Yeah, no, I love it too. Want to look at the comments here. Very tribal, love it. More dope ass music. Yeah, I think the music is just like it takes it over the top. Like MixMob and also Parallel had amazing. Jackson says I like this 8.9 out of 10. And also remember, guys, if you guys are going to, I'll put up the I forgot to favorite it, but we'll get his wallet address up on the screen again. Jaxie and his family and everything like that just went through a fire, so I want to make sure that we're supporting any way that we feel comfortable. So KE saying 11 out of 10 on narration, so relaxing. Dude, KE's feeling like bringing in the heat. KE's just like, whatever, 10 out of 10. Payton asked for you, 11 out of 10. Third person is a W. Jack, I've also come from third person, Gears of War fan for life. 8.0, not enough gameplay scene. And also G-Crowd, like if you watch it quite a bit, which I have, you see some of the models and all that stuff not acting properly. You try to hide it through editing, right? But some of it got seen. Voiceover is not the best, but get Ali to do the voiceover. I agree. That's the same exact thought that I actually had. Is like Ali would probably be a better voiceover.
Content creator of the year, by the way.
Shut your front
Ali
door.
Straza.
Van Ho. Also, speaking of Ali Straza, I think Van Ho, you went to
TwitchCon. Shout out to Van Ho and TwitchCon.
Oh yeah, and Ali Straza had a meet up there, which I didn't see dude, that. I don't know. Part of me wants to go to there too. King Snoot 7.2, very informative trailer, but I'd say it's more info than trailer 5.8. Okay, Sovereign being the grounding. J Ryan 7.10, Jack 8.2 for Tau Seti being a banger of a name for sure. And then AE 8.5 out of 10. So love it. You all crazy. Yeah, dude.
Guys, I am loving the comments here. Just like listening to Payton read all those. Like, I just want to like dance. Like, I just want to bop around. You guys are absolutely crushing it. It means the world to us. Shout out to King Snooch. He sent me a DM. He said he's got 5 Genesis chests to give away for Dark Times to give away on the show. So while Payton pulls up this Avalon trailer, I'm going to go give one to him backwards. Great seeing you, brother. Appreciate you always coming through. I'm going to give one to Kay. Always showing love, just feeling the vibes. You're giving us so much vibes. So we got to give you the vibes. Let's go to Mount Doji, always pulling up. We got to go give one to Jaxie, of course, because, here, legend, dealing with real life stuff, still finding the time to come and support. I think that was 4 people. Who should the 5th be, Payton? There's so many great people here. Wish I give away 100.
Sorry, I'm like reading the comments. Who did you pick so far?
I picked Kay. I picked oh man, now I'm losing it. Jaxie. I picked him backwards, and then I think I picked Mount Doji. Was it Mount Doji? It might have been Mount Doji. If I screwed that up, I'm gonna be sad.
That's okay. Well,
Mount Doji saying woot, so I think I said Mount Doji.
Okay, sounds good. Well, then we'll give it to we'll just give it to Kearney. Kearney was up here earlier in the show, so first half. Got to reward those people that show up just in the half.
They pick Mount Doji or Jaxie. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out.
You know what? Screw Kearney. Jaxie, you get one. I love you, Kearney. All right. The next specific video we have is Avalon. Avalon's been quiet. One of those head down people. But I freaking love it. I think Avalon's going to be one that I play some hours in because there's some UGC, but also MMORPG. So here we go. So for people that don't know what Avalon is, it's like a UGC type of like MMORPG, but this is like in-game footage now that they're starting to show. And we got a trailer like a long time ago, and it just like is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, isn't this crazy?
Doing a lot of really interesting stuff with AI and procedurally generated landscape. I mean, there's
get your 4090s ready. Oh man. But yeah, Avalon's starting to kind of cook and like start probably bringing in stuff. And the UGC element, which is probably very impressive there, you can kind of create your like world and stuff like that. And usually I'm not like kind of a big fan of that stuff. But Avalon definitely surprised me so much that I actually put some capital into it. And I don't put capital. I don't deploy capital. And I made a way to find out a way to have capital. Right. So it's just one of those things that I was surprised on what it does. Like some of the combat and all that stuff that I've seen. I know not everyone has the privilege of seeing it, but it was impressive. Trailer though, I would say it's like a 6.3 or something like that.
Yeah,
because it doesn't have much stuff to it.
It looked great, but yeah, it was lacking. It was lacking some oomph.
Yeah, so there's definitely no, like the oomph probably was the UGC, and that's probably doesn't get a lot of people off, right? I guess except for G-Crowd.
Doesn't come across. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might be going off of you a little bit here, but 6.3 sounds
yeah. G-Crowd saying 6.0 as well, and yeah, people are gameplay and all that stuff. I agree. The trailer isn't that impressive, but it always like makes me excited because I know what I know. Whenever they're starting to kind of leak out stuff. And so but that's about it. I think that's
the show, guys. Right? That is the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Token Singapore was amazing. Payton, I miss you. It was so much fun hanging out. But guys, we will be obviously we'll be back this week, but we will also set up for YPG Summit, Game Awards. I think Avalanche Summit is next month in Argentina.
Yep.
Guys, everyone is saying that Q4 is going to be massive, and I think that we are gearing up for a massive Q4. So you are going to want to be ready and ready up every single week on Mondays to stay on top of it, to pop some tags, get more money in your pocket.
Content Creator of the Year, Iceyyy.
Walk into the club like, what up? I got a big pack.
Oh my God! It's not that thing. Not safe for work version.
Not safe for work anymore.
Rolling in hella deep, headed to the mezzanine, dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes, those are green drapes.
Yo, my mic's about to break. Yeah, exactly. And he's just used to it. I just have to do it every single week so he starts listening to it. You know what I mean? Positive reaffirmation. You guys are the freaking best. Freaking love you all. I have an outro here somewhere, and I'm trying to find it. I'm all just moderated. We all good.